So I've been coding since 2018, and I wish someone would tell me those 8 things before I wasted years learning them the hard way. If you are stuck or overwhelmed yourself, let me save you 7+ years. My name is Aleksei, and I've been a professional programmer for about 5+ years. I help newcomers to get into the IT and IT specialists to grow their salary. The first and the most important thing that I wish somebody would told me is that you don't have to know everything. It is a terrible misconception that the real developers have to know everything about their language. But being a good developer isn't about have everything memorized. It's about knowing how to find answers, how to think through the problems, and how to communicate that. Back in the day, for me, every time I had to Google some functionality, it felt like I'm lagging behind because I thought, well, isn't I supposed to know every class in Java? No, you aren't. The next thing is learn how to learn. Simple tutorials aren't enough. I used to think that learning coding is about consuming, watching courses or reading books. But the truth is, actively building and creating, even if it's not perfect, is the real way how you learn how to code. I wish early on my career someone would tell me, first make it, then make it work, and only then, not so necessarily, learn how to do it the right way and make it better. That approach would save me a ton of time. The next thing is learn how you get evaluated. I think this is the most important one, and this is what we focus a lot here in Techpreneur. I used to think that if I write the perfect code, if I guard the code base from any mess, if I'm trying to be the best and efficient, this is what's gonna make me the best programmer, and this is how I'm gonna get promoted. But in reality, before promoting me, my manager will look at me, how I perform on the meetings, but I tend to stay quiet, or ask the opinion of my teammates, with whom I didn't really consciously build deep relationships. The more senior you get, the more you realize the importance of communication and collaboration skills. Those abilities so often supersede the real technical knowledge, so start invest early on. Next lesson is perfection is a trap. Trying to write the flawless code is counterproductive. Early on, I would find myself reasoning for an hours. What is the best name for a class or the method? I would even slow down my colleagues by writing the PR comments if I didn't like the name they chose. What I had to learn how to do through the years of my coding experience is asking only one simple question. What is this work for? Now I make sure that every piece of my code or work effort is driven by that single question. Because I'm being paid for shipping the functional code, even if it's not the perfect one. Spending less time to make your work perfect is actually leading to the faster growth and improvement you as a developer. You will never feel ready, so start anyway. Waiting for the magical moment when you will feel that you're finally ready will never happen. I had a mindset of over-preparing. I remember polishing every question for the interview, and oh god, if I forgot at least one class name, I wouldn't feel ready. So I would spend weeks repeating all those questions again and again, and every time feeling like I'm not good enough. I wish someone told me that confidence is built by doing, not by learning. So what I instead have had to do is just go and try doing real projects, or just go to the interviews and practice, even if I feel scared or unprepared. And only with years of practice, I finally adapted that mindset that now I teach here in Techpreneur. You don't have to feel confident, you have to be willing. The next lesson is that the real skill is problem solving. No fancy book or course is saying that, but you are not paying for writing code. You are being paid for solving problems. And that is our actual workload as a developers. For example, can you break a complex problem into the chunks of tasks that your team can work in parallel on? Can you understand what is broken when nothing looks broken? It's like being a detective. The codebase is just your evidence. Real job is asking the right question, tracing the clues, and connecting the dots. Focus on understanding why code is written certain way. The next lesson is nobody cares about your code. They care what it does. Clients, bosses, and users, they're all concerned with the functionality of your code, not the elegance of it. And yes, I care about my code, and so does my team. But it's not the team who pays my bills. The customer is always paying for the solution that he can use to achieve his goals. and so does the company pay to you that you provide that solution. So I always try to prioritize creating code that works as quickly as possible, and I actually write an ugly code proudly. I just don't forget to level it up later, because clean code is not a starting point, it's a journey. And the last but not least is that grinding is not sustainable. I learned how to protect my energy because burnout is real. You think that software development is about writing the code? No, it's about staying calm when nothing works. The best professionals and software developers make sure to put the boundaries, take the rest, and have time to recharge. So set the boundaries early on. I never did this one until I was so burned out that I didn't even care if I'm going to get fired. But then I started to say yes to myself and no to the company events, or maybe finding some compromises. Very quickly, I started to become a better coder and better human being. And for people around me, it indirectly shows that I'm a confident and I know my value and I know how to keep the balance. Because if you don't value yourself and your beliefs, why would anyone else do? Your brain needs to recharge to be productive. Tell me in the comments which of those points resonated with you the most. If there was at least one thing that resonated with you, then this video has achieved its goal. I'm Alex and I encourage you to choose your next goal, take your first step and get paid.